Disney is another example of a company that has just gotten too woke for its own good. Disney was once the kind of company that could just print money. And it evoked a wholesomeness, family values, etc. And then all of a sudden it found itself embattled with Ron DeSantis down in Florida and taken away by a political agenda that has nothing to do with the audience's view. Right? People that go and they go to the theme park, they don't want to have like rainbow Mickeys. They may have no problem with it. They may not like it. It doesn't matter. It just means that it's no longer about like going and having a good time with your family and getting to meet Mickey Mouse. It's about something else. And that's where people are like, okay, I've had enough. I don't want to deal with it. And so consequently, this is a company that had everything in the world going for it, was faltering. Part of that was just bad leadership from the old CEO. There were two Bobs. We're now on Bob 2.0 because it was Bob Iger and then Bob Chapek. Bob Iger comes back into the house and Bob Iger is trying to salvage this place, but he's struggling. He's struggling so much that the company had to reference it in its SEC filing. Think about that. So, it's got its SEC filing, its annual report that came out in late September of this year. You had to admit that, they're not always in line with what their audience may think. This is a company, mind you, that has lost a reported $1 billion on 4 of its recent woke movie flops. And now it's having to put off things like Snow White, the woke Snow White remake, because, they've already allegedly spent some $330 million and production is being postponed. And they've had all kinds of problems with the actress saying things that not everybody likes. And so if you read that annual report, what it tells you is, quote, "We face risks relating to a misalignment with public and consumer tastes and preferences for our entertainment, travel, and consumer products." Huh? What do you know? There's a misalignment. You see, the woke management at Disney thinks that everybody's going to want one thing. And then it turns out, you know what? They don't. They don't want that. No. So there's a misalignment going on between what we think should work and what actually works. They go on to say, consumers' perceptions of our position on matters of public interest, including our efforts to achieve our environmental and social goals, often differ widely and present risks to our reputations and to our brand. Wow. Okay, then you know what? I don't think I need to invest in Disney because you guys are like mad because you're like, oh, gosh, the consumers think we should be like this, but really we're like this. And that's creating a problem. And that's why we're not being valued properly. No, you're not being valued properly because people don't want your products because you know what? You're stuffing it down their throats. Like Bud Light tried to get everybody to drink their beer that was being marketed by someone who really didn't represent, shall we say, this customer of Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light. And the same thing's happening there with Disney. What's amazing to me is how tolerant the markets have been of this. I mean, tolerant and not tolerant, because take a look at this stock price. This is Disney. It's trading at like $95 a share today. But if you look at it over a 5-year time horizon, it used to be up around like $200. I mean, so that's actually really quite telling. They just can't figure their way out of this. So they are like half the value that they used to be over at Disney right now. I'm not surprised. I'm just surprised that they're surprised. And I'm surprised that Wall Street isn't waking up to this. I mean, have we yet to have any analyst on Wall Street say, I'm going to rate Anheuser-Busch AB InBev a sell? It took months for any analyst to even just call it a hold. And that was the HSBC guys, so not even an American bank that came. They're afraid. You understand. They're really, really afraid. But the proof is in the pudding, so to speak, in that consumers aren't buying what these companies are selling. And therein lies the problem.